music.
Alright YouTube, what's going on? This is BoxingWave back with another video. Now this video is something I always wanted to do, but I never got around to it because I don't know. Every time I hear someone say when Floyd was in his prime, when I hear that, I kind of assume they mean when Floyd was younger, a lot faster, throwing more combinations, knocking more people out. Just more explosive all overall. He was always good defender and everything, but he wasn't much of a pot shotter back then and everything. So when I hear that, it kind of makes me want to do this video, but I just never got around to it, so I'm doing it now. My stance on Floyd, one of the most talented boxers I've ever seen, okay? I think he is the best boxer at this era. He's not my favorite fighter, but he's one of my favorite fighters, okay? I know a lot of Floyd fans, diehards, that know way much more about Floyd Mayweather than I do. I mean, they've been watching him the same amount of time, but they seen like every fight, especially now that YouTube is available. There's a lot of fights that I never seen Floyd in. All of the major ones, obviously, but as far as like just, those ones earlier in his career, they're all accessible on YouTube. I just haven't seen them all, okay? Then there's people that I know that they just watch nothing but Floyd fights over and over again, okay? There's fights like, I'll admit, the Arturo Gatti fight, great performance, him beating a guy that is, a well-recognized fighter, okay? Arturo Gatti, okay? He's been in one of the most biggest boxing wars we ever seen against Mickey Ward. I've only seen that fight one time. I seen the fight when it was live, it was airing on television, and I've never seen that fight again. I know that's crazy. It might sound crazy to you, but I just never watched it again because, like, Floyd did what he was supposed to do to me. When he dominated him, it was just like, it was no surprise to me. And even though I think Arturo Gatti is a good fighter and everything, or was a good fighter, he just wasn't a guy that I, personally liked and cared for back then. It wasn't an overly impressive win to me, because he did what he had to do. Now, a fight like Marquez, where he pretty much dominated in the same fashion, okay? I know he didn't stop Marquez, but it's the fact that it was Marquez, okay? And his status, he's definitely one of the most decorated fighters that Floyd has fought. And the way that Floyd beat him, it was very, very impressive to me. Like, I watched that fight several times, whereas I've only watched the Arturo Gatti fight like once, So anyway, all you Floyd Mayweather fans that's watching this video, okay, whether you just leave a comment, if you're on YouTube, leave a video, if you're on Twitter, hit me on Twitter. What do you think, at what point was Floyd in his prime? You want to go through the weight classes, the super featherweight, the lightweight, you want to go at, whatever weight class you choose, okay? Whatever years you choose, okay? Whatever fights, where do you think, at what point do you consider Floyd to be at his prime, okay? Now, the reason why I want to talk about this with Floyd is because he's made transitions throughout his career. Okay, I think, obviously when he was younger, he was the most athletic, okay? At that point, he was so fast. He was getting more knockouts, he was getting, his combinations. He wasn't much of a pot shot, okay? He was always good defensively. He was always good. But back then, he got hit a lot more, okay? My favorite point, to me, not favorite, let me not say favorite, but if I had to put money on the best Floyd Mayweather, like if I take this current time, I think this Floyd Mayweather could be any other version of Floyd Mayweather. If I had to pick, I would probably pick the early welterweight years, okay? After Zab, okay? I would say after Zab Judah, okay? I think that after Zab, he fought De La Hoya, okay? I think he fought De La Hoya. He fought Baldomir. He fought Baldomir after Zab. Yeah, after Zab. I would say those years, between that time and the time he fought Shane Mosley. I would say in between those years, okay. Even if you think athletically he started slipping a little bit, I still will take those years of Floyd Mayweather and put him against any other year against Floyd Mayweather. Those years between Baldomir or De La Hoya against, from that point to the Shane Mosley year. So in that point, he fought De La Hoya, he fought Hatton. Okay, he did his little retirement thing, came back, fought Marquez, fought Mosley. Like, those are the years that I say were my favorite years of Floyd Mayweather. Okay, back when he was younger. Okay, uh, when he fought, what are some of the fights? When he fought Hernandez for his first title shot, when he fought Diego Corrales, Jose Luis Castillo, Emmanuel Augustus, like, you take a fight like Emmanuel Augustus and you watch that fight today, and even though it's very entertaining, it was a lot of action in that fight. You go and watch Floyd today, and then go and watch him in that fight, and you'd be surprised how much he got hit in that fight. I mean, yes, he had fast hands, yes, and he was hitting Emmanuel Augustus with some crazy shots. He was hitting him. He was doing lovely, but he was getting hit a lot in that fight, man. He was getting hit a lot. He did great against Diego Corrales. I mean, for him to knock him down, like 5 times in that fight, all those fights are great, man. Jose Luis Castillo gave him a hard fight. Okay, that's a fight that people thought he lost. Moving up even past that, Zab Judah. Just, if you look at the Zab Judah fight, right? I like to watch that fight a lot because Floyd Mayweather has lost rounds in his career. Okay, he's lost rounds to certain fighters. Certain fighters just had a few good rounds against him. Maidana did. Miguel Cotto did. Oscar De La Hoya did. There's some fighters that gave him some good fights, but the reason why I like the Zab fight the most is because no one ever was like beating him from a technical standpoint before. And I know it was short. Out of the first 4 rounds, I gave 3 of them to Zab Judah. I know it was short because Floyd took over after that. It wasn't even close after that. But I never seen Floyd getting countered like the way that he did. Even if you go back and watch, Floyd's using his best tools and getting countered. Okay, lovely. Like, straight clean. He was just being outboxed to me. All right. Zab looked much quicker. Okay, he looked stronger. He just looked more, more experienced just for those few rounds. But that's Zab, man. That's what he'll give you. He'll give you a first few good rounds, and after that, it's like, once you figure it out, or like, because Zab is like one of those type of dudes that when he's not in complete control and he has power, but when it's not hurting you or it's not having a major effect on you, and you keep coming, he kind of breaks down. Zab is like a guy that wants to hit you with something good and sit back and like admire his work, And Floyd just kept coming. And I remember the point in the 4th round, I believe, I think that was the last round. I thought Zab won. And Zab had him hurt, or it looked like he had Floyd hurt. This is after the knockdown, okay? Zab came at him, started throwing a bunch of combinations, just went at him. And I think he gassed himself out after that. Like, after that, you didn't see nothing from Zab no more. Floyd just kept coming forward, doing the same thing over and over again. It broke Zab down after that, okay? Mentally, too. Mentally, you could see it. But anyway, I feel like that fight made him a better fighter, We never seen nothing like that after that, Like I said, we seen him with some close rounds, some fights that he was tough fights, but I like those years of Floyd between the De La Hoya years, the Shane Mosley fight, because at this point he was basically a pot shotter, and defensively, I don't know the statistics. I didn't go into all of that. I'm just judging based on what I've seen. He was a much more advanced fighter at that point, okay? It's not all about the combinations and the speed and everything. Everybody is great when they're athletically good. When athleticism is an advantage, which Roy Jones have. But once he didn't have the reflexes or the speed anymore, we seen what happened to him. Okay, multiple times. Floyd is at a point in his career, and this is why Bernard Hopkins is able to fight up until 50 years old. He's not. It's not all him being athletic. Okay, it's still there. His reflexes is still top notch. You can't really compare his reflexes to anyone, even at the age that he is today. But as far as if he were to actually fight the Floyd that was in his prime, like most people say, I think the Floyd of today, not today, but of those years, would have been the best years. Now, the Floyd of today is the same Floyd that we seen from those years that I was just talking about, the De La Hoya, the welterweight years. But the difference is he has slowed down a little bit, okay? Not dramatically, but I would take those years because at that point he was a pot shotter. He was a little bit more defensive minded than he was in his earlier years. Even though back then he's mostly the like getting a score knockout in these fights. First of all, I don't think he was fighting the same level of fighters back then. Okay, I think as he, moved up and went to welterweight, that's when he started fighting the real tough fighters. Okay, he fought De La Hoya when he was the champ at junior middleweight. He fought Miguel Cotto. He fought Shane Mosley after he beat Margarito. I just think those years were the best. The years now, he's still the best. Fighting Canelo, fighting Maidana. But the difference is he is older now, but he's still fighting the same way. So I would take the Shane Mosley Floyd over the Canelo Alvarez Floyd just because the age advantage. They're fighting the same way, but I would take that younger version of how he fights today, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So basically, that's my argument. I mean, I'm sure some of you got like the Floyd that had the super, super fast hands. The guy that fought and destroyed Diego Corrales in that fight. I'm sure you guys will take him. But I'll take that Ricky Hatton Floyd. I'll take that Shane Mosley Floyd. Even though he got hurt. After he got hurt, you saw what happened to Shane Mosley, man. Shane Mosley didn't even want to engage with him because he was afraid to get hit. I'll take that Floyd over the Floyd of today, right now, and the Floyd of when he was younger in his 20s fighting, okay? So anyway, I would like to hear responses. I would like you guys to leave comments, and hit me on my Twitter, man. I always tweet with you guys and argue with you guys on Twitter. So hit me on Twitter. Let me know when you think, what years was Floyd at his prime? What division was Floyd at his prime? Whatever you want to choose, just let me know. And make sure you hit subscribe.